How do we make decisions in life, or is there any spiritual way of doing this process so that we don't affect anything negative in our karma, or which will not affect others? I think that is a beautiful question in one of our WhatsApp group. One of the parent who asked it. Before we jump into the spiritual aspect of it, I would say let's work on the how the decision making process happens in the mind. Because once we understand it, then it will be a lot more helpful for us to understand how mind works, and then where spirituality and psychology enters and how they intersect with each other. First, we'll talk about decision making process. If you actually look deeper, the decision making process itself is kind of a mimicry in your head. It is a mind game. Most of the time, when you make decisions, almost every time, it is always runs in an autopilot mode. It is mind has already, the brain has decided, made the calculation, and what it does is it tries to create that image in your head, try to work with you to convince you to pick the choice. How the brain works, does it work rationally? Is it correct answer? No. That is again collected information that is rewired. Think like brain like an electronic circuit that is uniquely you have been created based on the past information what you hold about yourself. So that is what is going to influence you here. So what happens here is most of the decisions are already made. Best example I can tell you is when you're going. So let's take Bangalore. Bangalore is known for traffic. You're traveling. You're going to office. Suddenly there's a traffic. Immediately, what you do is you don't wait there patiently, right? You immediately look for, okay, next right. I know there's a shortcut. I'll go ahead. Why? Because that information is already stored in your mind. In your past, you have used that part and you have recorded in your mind, or your friend told, don't take this route at this time. Take an alternative route. These are all borrowed information. You never sat there and analyzed the Google map. How many possible routes are there? What is the fuel economy? What is the traffic condition? Is there any? You never did all those scientific or rational studies there, right? You allowed your mind to go with its own behavior and whatever it is in your past. So when it comes to decision making process, there are like two different ways you have to work, two different methods. You will Most of the people would fall in any one of the buckets, or some people are gifted to use both together. Okay, the third part, let's not worry about it. The first part is you are completely using a logic and facts and rational thinking here. So here to make the decision, you should be detached with multiple things. There are four culprits here when you make decision. The first one I could think of is your own thought process. That means your own past information that you think you believe, which you have undergone. It could be a past life, it could be from this lifetime. Whatever you believe, that will play a very critical role. This is called a systematic cognitive error of your mind. That's what psychologists call you. They call us. And the second one is what you have been influenced by others. Okay, like social media. If it's in Facebook, it's true. If it's in news, it is true. If it is in paper, it is true. There are still people believing all those things. So if you believe on all those things, are they? That is another way that will hinder in your decision making process. Okay, the third one is your time. Time is a very crucial element here. If you add a time to any question, no, your mind starts working fast in a very hasty. It'll rush fast to make a decision quicker. Okay, it will not give you time to analyze or sleep over it for some day, because that's why this quick offer comes in. If you go to a site, suddenly they'll say only for next few hours it's available, or only for this day it's available. It is to put that mental pressure in your mind. Immediately your mind will want to de-stress it, so it will make any decision. So it will never wait for that time. So first thing is you should forget the time. If somebody says this offer is only for 2 hours, means you don't have to wait for 2 hours and see. Forget the time factor and think normally. Use your normal thought process to analyze the situation. The last most dangerous thing is emotions. When you put emotions in your decision making process, you are gone for a toss. Most of the time, people who make decisions during emotion end up being an emotional victim lifelong. They'll not come out of it. It's absolutely not easy. You are not sitting rationally thinking your point of view, or talking to that person their point of view, or putting everything in paper, understanding things a lot more better, or understanding perspectives better. You don't do it. Once you make a decision and emotion, your ego would come out, and what it does is it will try to hold it. Your ego will hold it and say what I made the decision is correct. It will take few years for you to realize that yeah, I have done mistake. Okay, then you, if you are open enough, if you're spiritual enough, then you will accept yourself. Maybe your ego will not allow it to tell openly. So it will keep on playing your victimizing role, and you will end up being a victim, and you will attract those kinds of energy only around you, and unwantedly you will hurt yourself. Okay, so keep emotion completely away when you want to make a decision. If you keep all these four elements away, you can make a very good decision without putting anything. But always think like you're going to make a decision for someone, and you're going to make a decision for him. How you look at him as a third person, that's how you will have to look in your own life to make those kinds of decision. So that is one method. Another point is you can add some more things, like you can talk to your mentors if you have, and you can talk to people who are experienced in solving those kinds of challenges in life, that can also help you. But again, what your mentor or your guru or whatever they say, they all are giving their perspective. It is not the universal answer or truth. What they have accumulated, their experience, that is what they share. Okay, unless he's an enlightened soul who has seen your life how it is going to be, and they take decision for you. Usually they will not take decision, they'll only give idea and they'll leave you and watch. So that's how they do it. Mostly they will not interfere unless it is some life transforming thing, decision you're going to make. So these are the factors that play in the decision making on the rational side. The other part, if you look at it, here it is entirely gut feeling. Your gut feeling would guide you what decisions to make. Again, the gut feeling might not give you a logical answer. It will never give you a logical answer. Okay, so it'll maybe until you experience that only you will know whether the answer will come or not. Here again, people confuse law intuition with thought process. They always think whatever they think is the intuition, and they think they have got spiritual power, and they'll think I got something, and they have doubt in their mind. If your intuition is clear and sharp, you will never have doubt. You will be crystal clear. You will stop asking people. That is the first sign your intuition is working. If it's sharp and you know this is the method I have to follow, you will not bother about verifying with anyone. People who have that multiple loop thoughts in their head, they always go and check with others or with couple of people, or maybe somebody who's better than them, whom they consider, they will always verify. It is good to, you can say, this is the decision I made, this is the thought process, this is my gut feeling. Is there anything to add? You can ask them, nothing wrong. But if you want to verify, then your intuition is somewhere lacking, or your thought process is confusing you. I made a video about it separately about intuition and thought hallucination. You can check that, it will give you some more clarity. So now the point here, you have to check, you have to pick any one of these bucket. By default, naturally, you will pick any one side. Okay, mostly people go to the thinking part of the side, they won't go to the gut part of the side until you train your mind to look from the other angle. That might help you make a decision. Maybe at future, when you go deeper into spiritual practice like meditation, mindfulness, chanting, what all these practices does is it connects all the neurons in your brain. Your brain is activated, so all the elements of your brain works together to make a decision, and it will guide you in a proper way, because mind doesn't have only the logical thinking, analyzing, or past information memory. It also has a beautiful psychic ability. It can see through the future and environment. So it will combine together and it will beautifully guide you. So try to, but at the end of the day, I always say it's meditation or spiritual practice. That is your answer. Go deeper into it. It might help you a lot. So that is how you make decision. And once you make a decision, and then now coming to the next level of, if the decision you're going to make is going to be life transforming, or it is going to change the way you're going to work, or it's going to be very impactful decision you're going to make, then it is advisable to check with your energies. Maybe you can check with the consulting, any healers or any astrologers. Again, here there are multiple ways you might be guided wrong, you might go wrong. You have to move with caution here. You have to find the genuine person or some person or anything where they can help you guide it. But that one person can't be answer for all your problem. He might be answer for one particular problem. That's it. Once their job is done, you might find a better person in life. So surround yourself with those kinds of people whom you can bounce this, or on a consulting basis they can say this is energy, it is right thing for you to do, or take some precautionary actions if it is there in your chart. And if you know astrology, you can make your own decision. That is one thing. That is a subjective, but don't go for every small decision making to an astrologer and end up spending money. Astrologer or spiritual person or healer, it is entirely up to the gravity of the decision you're going to make an impact on you. The final and most important point, how do I make it? I have made a decision, it's all clear now. How do I make sure it is successful and it is fruitful for me, and it doesn't affect anyone around me? so that I don't accumulate any bad karma for me or the people around me. That's a very noble thought. The very first thing you should do is sleep with the decision. Don't rush to action. Allow it for a couple of days. Allow 2, 3 nakshatras to pass. Wait for it. If you still feel it is the right thing, it is just a second verification or validation. Your gut has told you, great, wait for 2 days. Your gut will say the same thing. If it changes, you're oscillating, take a pause. Otherwise, most of the time you'll be clear after 2 days. There'll be a feeling in you when you made the right intuitive decision, you will know what is it. You will instantly know it. I'm just telling you to give 2 days gap or sleep over it at least, so that you might have some better way to execute it. Maybe for the action item is something you should think about it. Okay, that is a very important point, to live in that, and then you attract the energies. First of all, you have to thank your family deity. If you believe in Bhakti Yoga, or if you don't believe in Bhakti Yoga, whatever it is, you are here because of your ancestor. There is some energy, somebody was alive at that time. Because of that lineage, you are alive. So their energy is there. Family deity is usually a soul which doesn't take birth. They are ready to stay in that human plane and guide their generation. They'll be alive till that last lineage is come to an end. So they will be alive. So take their energy. It's at most important to take your family deity blessing. You can do it in any form. You can do rituals, you can go to the temple and do the performance, or you can just from your heart connect with your ancestor, your family deity, your ancestors, and get their blessings, and select the nakshatra time. For every nakshatra, there is a certain quality. If you're selecting for a decision making for a specific thing, if you know about a little bit of nakshatra, select specific nakshatra for it, and then on that day you don't look at the day, you don't look at the time, you don't look at the tithi, you're not going look only nakshatra, because nakshatra is what decides your future. If you want to go more deeper into astrology, then you can go into Panchangam and find the Muhurtam, right time. Experts can guide you on that topic. And the last and most important thing is start with gratitude. You have to give something when you start. Always start with some donation, or feed an animal, or do something good, or help someone, feed someone, or buy some books to children's poetry, anything out of your heart, with pure heart, or help orphanage, anything. Start with good action. Pray to them, connect with them, seek everybody's blessing. Then you get into action of your decision making, or putting the decision out to the public, or telling that to the people, or writing it in a legal form. Anywhere, when it translates to document or into action, that is the cycle has started. So that is one of the easiest way to do it. I'm sorry it is a long video. um, I hope this answers you on the decision making process. It's a lovely discussion, and when they ask, like, I think I'm very happy to see how the way our WhatsApp group is growing. People are bringing up really new topics. Honestly, if you ask me, I never thought about these things before. When you ask only, I'll start thinking about the answers. So most of the time, I might not have an instant answer also. But I've seen me in some class, I would have given some answer, but then again I will rethink and I'll come back and I will update them. So it is natural. Thank you all for enabling me to learn more from you all. I am willing to share what I know. Do continue to discuss, and we'll take our community to a next level. Thank you, and I'll see you in another interesting topic. Bye.